What's up everyone, my name is Ammar Takla and I'm the author of the Depersonalization Guide. So I suffered from depersonalization for about 2 years and I was able to recover 100%. So during my recovery, I was documenting everything that helped me recover from depersonalization, and I created the Depersonalization Guide. So I think one of the most common questions asked by people who suffer from depersonalization is there medication that actually help with depersonalization? And to be honest with you, the answer is yes and no. So there aren't medications out there that cure depersonalization, but there are medications that actually help with the side effects and the symptoms of depersonalization. And to help you understand why there isn't medications that cure depersonalization, you need to understand first what are the causes of depersonalization and what is the process a person goes through when experiencing depersonalization. The main cause for depersonalization are traumas. So trauma could be like any traumatic event that happens in your life, or for example like a loss of loved one or a car accident, or in my example it's the war that happened in my country, Syria. But it also could be a result of a bad drug experience, which is also considered as a traumatic event for your mind. So once you understand that this is the cause of depersonalization, what someone feels when going through depersonalization, the thoughts and feelings associated are, like you feel like you're numb, or you feel detached from yourself or from the reality around you, or you feel that you're looking at yourself from the mirror, or you get the thoughts that you have changed in some way, or the people around you have changed in other ways. And I want you to forget what you read on Google, like the definition, which is a mental illness, and all those scary things that actually described and you read on help forums about depersonalization. If you look at it, what I just said, it's just all thoughts and feelings as a result of this traumatic event. So when your brain, or when you go through a trauma, your brain goes into, because of the huge stress and anxiety, your brain goes into a state of uncertainty about a lot of things. So it like the reality has kind of was shaken in some way, that your brain goes into this state of uncertainty and starts creating all those questions for you. So those questions could be like, are you still the same person after this trauma? Are the people around you still the same? And that's the difference between depersonalization and depersonalization disorder. So those thoughts and feelings are very normal following a trauma. It's like, am I still the same, or is this world still the same? However, what your actions after actually what define having disorder or not. So a lot of people following the trauma, they get those thoughts and feelings and they forget about them and everything is fine, they just go on with their life. However, a lot of people following depersonalization or following a trauma, they start thinking about those thoughts and feelings, and they start going on online forums, they start going on Google, typing their questions like, I'm feeling unreal, I'm feeling detached, I'm feeling numb, and they come across all those scary articles and help forums, defining depersonalization, and everybody has a definition for it, like you just read online and then you come across all those different websites that for me they don't make any sense. Or you come across those help forums and you read the stories of other people who've had depersonalization for, I don't know, 1 year, 10 years, 20 years, or they've had it all their lives and they can't get rid of it. So you need to stay away from that. And actually people who start taking those actions and start researching on Google are those people who are going to have depersonalization disorder, because you're going to be stuck in the cycle of depersonalization of just having those thoughts and feeling, going on online forums, researching on Google, and then the consequence is just you're stuck in that cycle of depersonalization, and then the feelings become so real that you're actually experiencing depersonalization all day long, from the moment that you wake up to the moment that you go to sleep, because the only thing you're doing is just thinking about it, and just that's the only thing you do. And that's completely normal, because when you go to work and you play sport, or you watch TV, or you speak with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, so the kind of thoughts and feelings you're going to have are associated with the events that are created in your daily life. However, when you just think and research depersonalization all day, so this subject is going to become so important for your mind that it's going to keep creating those sort of random questions for you, to go and think about them. And when you think about them, you're going to start feeling them, them, and then you're gonna start typing your feelings on Google, and then that's the depersonalization cycle. So that's why there aren't medications for depersonalization, because you cannot treat a thought or a feeling. You know, like, it's depersonalization is just a cycle, so you cannot have medication that are gonna interfere with the way you think or the way you feel. And that's why we don't have medications for depersonalization, and we're never going to have any medication, and people actually are not going to understand it, because it's not a result of damage to your brain. Certainly nothing has changed inside you. You're only stuck in that cycle that you need to break. So that's why you cannot have medications that cure depersonalization, because you cannot cure something that doesn't exist. You know, you cannot have medications that are gonna interfere with the way you think or the way you feel. And for that reason, there aren't any medications that cure depersonalization. And there will never be any medications actually that cures depersonalization, which is actually good news, because depersonalization is not a big thing. You know, it's not due to damage to your brain, or you haven't changed in some ways. It's just simply thoughts and feelings that you experience. I know they are scary, but you know, that's why there aren't medication that cures it. However, I mentioned early in the video, you know, that there aren't medications that cure depersonalization, but there are medications that help with the symptoms and side effects of depersonalization. So normally when you are experiencing depersonalization, you know, you also experience a lot of anxiety, and you also experience depression as well. That's something that I experience as well, and most of the people that suffer from depersonalization experience that as well. So the medication that actually help with depersonalization are SSRIs and benzodiazepine. So just to speak a little bit briefly about benzodiazepine, so they are sedatives such as oxazepam and all of sort medication that are actually out there. So they are medication that treat anxiety, so they are to calm you down. However, you know, I've tried them, and honestly, they haven't helped me in any ways. Yeah, they do help with the anxiety, they make you very calm, but they also make you a little bit disconnected from your feelings, and that's actually what depersonalization is. So I realized when I was taking benzodiazepine, it actually made the feeling a little bit worse in the longer run. However, there are SSRIs, which is selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, which is antidepressant, the modern antidepressant, which doesn't cause a lot of side effects. So I used the SSRIs. I went to my general practitioner and I asked him to prescribe me SSRIs, which is Zoloft, or the generic brand, which is sertraline. And honestly, it did help me in some ways. So some of the things that it helped with is just reducing my level of anxiety and reducing the depression that is associated with the depersonalization. And how you should look at SSRIs or Zoloft, you should look at it as, like, you know, a breathing window to focus on your recovery from depersonalization. So you cannot rely on Zoloft to just, you know, eliminate depersonalization, because it won't. But it will make it less. It will make the anxiety and the depression less, which will give you enough energy to work on distracting yourself and work on your recovery plan to get rid of depersonalization. So I used Zoloft for about a year. I came off it around 3 years ago. I didn't experience any side effects. Some people report side effects of, you know, I don't know, like loss of sexual energy in that sense. So I didn't have any of that during the year that I used Zoloft. However, you know, when you want to come off Zoloft, you need to make a plan for yourself. So my advice is that, you know, when you feel well and you implemented a healthy lifestyle, just, you know, come off Zoloft as soon as possible. But you cannot just cut Zoloft right away. You know, I'm taking 50 milligrams. I was taking 50 milligrams, and that's actually one of the lowest doses available. So what I started doing, or what my GP suggested, is that, you know, I take every other day Zoloft. So one day I take Zoloft, the other day I don't take, for around 2 weeks. After that, I reduced the dose for 25 milligrams a day, every day, and then I go 25 milligrams every other day. And that way you wouldn't feel any side effects of coming off the Zoloft. And honestly, a lot of people, they experience stress after, or depression back after they come off the Zoloft. But if you implemented healthy lifestyle while taking the Zoloft, then, you know, those side effects are barely noticeable. So, you know, now I go to the gym a lot. I do sports like playing football or basketball. I eat healthy. I wake up early. I sleep early. I focus on my work. So that actually helped me a lot with not having any side effects of coming off Zoloft. And I suggest you do the same. You know, if you take Zoloft and you make a plan for yourself to, you know, just get rid of depersonalization, then you need to implement all the healthy habits, and you really need to lead a good lifestyle for you. So first, to get rid of the depersonalization. Also, when you come off the medication, it won't be difficult for you. So if you need more information on depersonalization, I really advise you to go on my website, which is depersonalizationguide.com. You see the link on the screen, or you can check it in the description box below. There I speak a lot about depersonalization. I have different articles about it. I have different videos, and there's also the depersonalization guide, which is my own recovery story. So I described what depersonalization is, how you can recover from depersonalization. I also mentioned some golden habits for a quick recovery, and what you do, for example, more details about medication, or you know, what if depersonalization comes back again. And you know, it really simplifies depersonalization, and it's very easy to understand. And also something else, if you can help me with as well, if you can drop a like for this video and subscribe for the channel, so this helps as well this video to reach as many people as possible who suffer from depersonalization.